Hello, everybody, and welcome back to One Mic, One Wheel once again, the show where we talk all things motorsport and sim racing related. I hope you guys enjoyed the last episode with Evil Dragon, a very good friend of mine, and a really interesting story that he had to tell, and stuff that I didn't even know about him, how he struggles with his dyslexia-induced stutter during his commentaries, and where he sees himself being in a few years' time. But today, we're keeping on the theme of ownership. And in the box with me today, I have the owner of one of the most successful esports teams out there at the moment in visual sim racing. I have, of course, Lucas Morgan, otherwise known as VSRJam. Jam, very, very welcome to the show. Happy to have you on.
Happy to be here.
So let's start at the beginning. Where did this love of motorsport begin?
Well, the love for motorsport for me had to begin with my grandfather, I would say. Um, he can build something from pretty much nothing, and I learned to do that as well. And, I just love anything with an engine, really. And that's what inspired me to build this team.
And did you grow up watching any motorsport as well?
Um, Not when I was younger. I only just recently got into like watching motorsport. Um, as I've gotten older. However, I do have a large passion for motorsport, and I have a large passion for the community.
So, what got you into the esports realm then?
Um, so it all started um in August 2016 when me and Michael Nicholas from the UK sat down and we had a talk of another business venture that we wanted to go into. And he knew a guy named Racers, LZR Racers. And, we thought that, wow, Forza would be a great game to, venture out into. As, we were in the Call of Duty scene at the time and, you know, doing all this esports stuff with different teams. Shout out Era Eternity and Era Will. um, but yeah, um, basically how we got into it had to be, the Forza scene, and now we're here with Formula One, MotoGP, Project Cars, R Factor 2, iRacing. 7 different games on 3 different platforms.
And how did you come up with the name for VSR?
Now that would be an interesting story. So we had a very difficult time coming up with a name, and this is going to sound very funny, but we've actually used the cool word dictionary, because neither me or Cyber are very good at picking names. So I mean, it was you know uh, very difficult time. We were weeks trying to pick a name, and then we took 20 minutes, and we were like, you know what? Let's use the cool word dictionary. And yeah, that's where we came up with the name Visceral.
That's slightly underwhelming, but really funny at the same time. Um,
Yeah.
so VSR has grown into this big team across multiple platforms, multiple games. How do you cope with running such a big team?
It's not very easy. You have to have a lot of dedication in terms of what you do. And, personally, trying to balance school and VSR and everything else is very, very hard. And that's why, I obviously don't do this all alone. I have, several managers, um, the general manager, and 2 co-owners along my side, kind of keeping the ship stable, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, starting off, it was really not easy. You've really got to push towards what you want, and you really have to want it. And I think that goes for anything, really. If you want to do something, you have to have motivation to do it.
Of course. And How would you describe the atmosphere within the team?
It is a very family-oriented environment, uh, as in, players talk to each other all the time. They talk about their personal lives and they talk about racing. Everyone's working together, sharing setups. Um, we're a very family-based organization. However, we do keep professionalism in mind as well. Um, and we try and treat everyone on an equal plate in the team.
And what has been, in your opinion, the proudest achievement that you've seen VSR achieve?
That is a very hard question. Um, there's a lot of achievements that VSR have had that have really, you know, surprised me in terms of like, wow, what I've built has come to this. And the very first achievement that I'm still proud of today has to be the Daytona 24-hour of last year, I think. Um, and that's where we got our third place finish overall. And that was a very good event for us. It was our first event for Forza, like our first big event, I would say. And ever since then, our team's been, uh, really pushing in terms of results. Um, we try when something doesn't work, we try something else, and we you know improvise if something doesn't go well. And I think that's why we do receive more race wins.
This one might cause some controversy, but what or who impresses you the most outside of VSR?
Oh,
You
oh,
might get killed.
yeah,
You might get killed answering this one.
yeah, yeah. Um, there are a lot of great talents inside the team and as well outside the team. Um, I have complete respect for everyone in the community. You know, it is a very very well fit community, even though sometimes there are some controversial things going on between VSR and some other people. However, I hold no grudges against anyone. That's for sure. However, I'll choose three because I can't just choose one. There's there's a lot a lot of drivers that um, have amazing amounts of talent, and I guess I'll pick one for F1. I'll pick one from each platform, I guess, since we do have three platforms. Um, I would say for Xbox, I'm gonna have to go with Simon. We did work alongside Simon for a while, and he's a very nice guy. I have a lot of respect for him. Um, we we helped him up, um, from where he was to where he is today, and he is a very talented driver, and he's come a long way since he first, like when he first joined the team. Um, and if he did want to come back, then that would be something that we'd consider. And for PS4, I'd I'd have to go with hmm, Lucas and Flores. Are very talented guys. We had them on our roster uh, before they signed a contract with VGIA. And once a VSR member, always a VSR member. Um, and they are very talented guys, and we all have massive respect for them. And we do realize, they wanted to do different things and go down a different path. However, they are very talented, and we, I really have nothing else to say. They're they're honestly just amazing guys, and they know how to push for results. Um, And for PC, I'm gonna have to say Chromatic. Um, I really do like Chromatic's driving style, um, and how he works in terms of a driver. Um, Even though he hasn't been in VSR, um, he is someone that we would consider adding to our roster, as he is a very talented guy. And for anyone who I haven't mentioned, there's so many other talented guys in the community. So many guys that I could mention, but I would say that those are the ones I would have to choose. Um, but yeah, I it's really hard to choose.
You handled it very well. I'll give you that. I was slightly worried you were going to turn into a politician and not answer the question, but well done. So keeping on that theme, who's been a standout driver for you within VSR?
Oh, um, that is a question that I don't know how to answer. Everyone in VSR are very, very talented guys. I have massive respect for all of them. They're like my second family. So, choosing one over the other, you know, that's like choosing between family members, if you get what I mean. And, but I guess, I can't really back out from the question, but this might take me a while. um, yeah, I'd say I'll have to go. Um, I'd say I'll go with Bird. Even though Bird has had his on and off time with VSR, coming back and then going again, um, he he has helped build the entire Formula One team, helped build the entire Project Cars team, and he is really quick on track, and he knows how to get results very efficiently. Um, I mean, he can race on Formula One and Project Cars, and still be in the top pack um, with minimal to none practice, really. And he's just one of those drivers that I guess it just comes to him. But yeah, like I said before, it's really hard to choose. Um, but yeah, if I had to choose one, it'd probably be Bird. But yeah, they're all very talented.
What's the most difficult thing about running a team?
Oh, yeah. For me, I would have to say um, managing sponsors, managing, you know, um, managing managers, managing players, um, depending on your business type, managing in real life assets. I'm not going to really continue with that, but you'll see that in the next half a year or so. But yeah, that would have to be the three hardest things: players, management, and obviously your in real life assets and things like that.
And on the flip side of that, what's the most satisfying thing about running a team?
Seeing your team up there, um, you know, seeing how far you've come, um, seeing progress. Um, those are some of the things that I find enjoyment in. Knowing that you know you train these drivers up and they all worked really, really hard, and they work together as a team, and they receive the results. And people in VSR, on the outside, there might be drama, and people might dislike us. However, at the end of the day, we're just one big one big happy family, really, and we all work together, and that's something that I find real enjoyment in.
Have you managed to meet any of the team in real life?
Um, there are some people that I know in real life who have done things for VSR, so I guess that would technically count. Um, However, I haven't met many. Um, Obviously, I've met Tang, and I've met Clovers, who are both graphics designers for us. However, in terms of drivers, I haven't yet. However, uh, soon I will.
Yeah, and I have seen this question circling. Well, not exactly a question, but I've seen this opinion perhaps being circling around that I kind of wanted to put to you and see your response. I have seen some people perhaps say that that VSR is perhaps too big to handle. How would you respond to that one?
VSR is far from too big to handle. I mean, we we have lots of management to handle our workload. I mean, for teams just starting out, of course, if your team's only been out for 6 months to a year, you don't want to have that many platforms and games because, you're probably not getting used to the groove and stuff. However, since I've been involved with esports my pretty much my entire life, um, it's kind of something that ran in my family as well. So, I mean, running an esports team is not really a big weight on your shoulders once you figure out what you're doing and you love what you do. And personally, I would love to um, expand, honestly, and that's what we're going to be doing in the next couple of months. Um, I'm not going to extend much on that, but all I'll say is that VSR is far from too big to handle.
And that leads nicely onto my final question. Where do you see the team in a year, year and a half, 2 years' time?
I see the team a lot a lot bigger than it is now. We have lots of plans in place, um, lots of people who are possibly going to be signing over with us, lots of changes, lots of new faces to the family, lots of changes internally and externally. Um, there's a lot of things that VSR are doing that are going to change the community completely. Um, y- you know, it's gonna turn a lot of heads, that's for sure. We have a lot of things up our sleeve that people haven't seen yet, and I have noticed on Twitter, of course, people say that sometimes we're dying, or we're losing drivers or whatever, or the team is falling down. However, it's only up from here.
Well, that, I'm afraid, is all we have time for. Lucas, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to speak with you, and I wish you all the future success with VSR.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure to be here. Um, Certainly, um, anyone who is interested in VSR, you can just give me a message, of course, and I encourage those who want to come on the show, as it's going to be a big part of the community, I'm sure.
Well, all I can do is pray. But that has been episode number 7 with VSRJam. I hope you guys enjoyed. Join us next time where we will have another member of the sim racing community talk about their experiences and their journey through the world of esports. Thank you all so much for joining me, and we will see you next time out for episode 8. Thank you, and goodbye.